what is your definition of wealth?
Mindset.
That's it.
All poverty except sustenance poverty, roof over your head, reasonable health care, food on the table. All other forms of poverty, those things shouldn't even be an issue. That's humanity. All other forms of poverty are mindset. So let's get funky now.
Talk to me nice.
Let's get, I'm gonna talk to you nice, but your audience is not gonna like it.
Come on with it.
Somebody is listening to this and go, you know, this John Bryant talking and stuff. Look, just give me the money. You know, I'm not gonna tell you what net worth is, but I ain't hurting. Just give me his money. Okay, I'm gonna give you my money, I'm gonna give you Cam's money. I'm gonna give you everybody that Cam and I know. Stephen A. Smith, Charlemagne, everybody. We're gonna give you all our money. In fact, I'm gonna give you all the wealth in the world. You got it. Here's what's gonna happen. If we don't change anything else, we're gonna have it back in 3 years. 70% of all those who win the lottery, Cam,
Back, bro.
bankrupt in 5 years.
No way.
70%. I hate to tell you, but 70% of all NFL players and 70% of all NBA players bankrupt in 5 years of retirement. That's why, one of the many reasons why you're a role model in how you're flowing, what you're building, how you're perceiving, how you're getting, you're constantly building because you understand it's the sports business. It's the business of sports, and so it's the entertainment business. These other folks thought that the money was gonna last forever. That's what I was saying with that clip I did about you.
We're gonna talk about it.
So money ain't everything. In fact, money's nothing. Money is just, Omari, I can take your shirt, turn it backwards, and write on the back of your shirt, pay to the order of Omari, $20,000. I can write the account number and a routing number, and I can sign it. And technically, you could take your shirt to the bank, and they would have to cash it. A check is just, they just literally created like a check. But all I'm doing is transferring value. Money is a transfer of value. But what do we obsess about? Money. It's nothing. That's why most most cryptocurrencies, there were 20,000 cryptocurrencies created. I believe it's 18,000 of them went bust. Who are the biggest investors? Black people, because we're trying to get rich quick. We're so frustrated. We're trying to find a way. And because we're financially literate, we're complete targets. I have no problem with cryptocurrency. Just don't use your rent money. But if you really want to be smart, go to the exchange system, the technology, under blockchain technology, under the currency. That's the real deal. So there's a game that's being played, and we got to understand it. It's not about money. Money's irrelevant. It's about wealth. And wealth, let's be practical. What's the number one way you build wealth in America? Home ownership. 75% of my white counterparts own a home. That ain't by accident. The entire tax system is designed to encourage home ownership. You write off the mortgage payment. You write off the depreciation. You'll be able to depreciate this building, by the way. This is the tax write-off. You get the appreciation. You get all the value creation. But only 44% of black people own a home. I curse people out about this. Like, what are you doing? You're renting some with money you don't have and places that don't want you to impress people you don't know about shit that don't matter. Stop it, knock it off. That's low self-esteem. Go buy in the hood, D-A-HOD, a hood adjacent. Buy the worst house in the best block. A hood in France is called Paris. A hood in the UK is called London. A hood in Turkey is called Istanbul. This is like inner city, centrally located real estate. And we're giving it away. Every hood in America is a gold mine. Between where we are and the airport is the next gold mine. Buy it and do not sell it. But I'll be on a show and people if it was a call-in show, somebody would call in. Yo, man, I don't like what John Bryant's saying. We know We don't own the home, the bank owns a home. If you don't pay, and by the way, if I gave you the loan, just to make it real clear, and you don't pay me, I'm gonna own the home, your home. Business is not personal. Capitalism is a gladiator sport. We gotta get out of this emotion stuff. We gotta get to the base. We don't own enough stocks, we don't own enough bonds, we don't own enough homes. Most of our businesses are sole proprietorship. This is royalty right here. You have, I don't know, a dozen people here. This is royalty, and you own the building. That's the first question I asked when I walked in, by the way. That's sexy. Now, you're like a...
Can I stop you right there?
I'm telling too much of your business.
No.
Go ahead.
I own everything I got.
Break it down.
No.
No, by the way, you see how quiet he was? We see when you got the power, you don't need to use it.
No.
He didn't scream it.
Yeah.
He didn't holler it. He didn't flash it. The quietest thing he's been, the whole interview. I own everything. Ooh, that's so sexy.
No. I'm telling you.
You know, I don't have my wallet here, but if at this moment, I'd pull out my Amex Black card.
Hey, somebody go get this wallet, please.
No.
Somebody go get it.
But that...
A centritarian, that's what they call him.
Hey, man, look, I can buy... I don't need to argue with you. I can just buy it and buy whatever you're sitting under.
Man, listen, I think that's the thing about growing. I just left an event yesterday, and somebody wanted to argue with me. I said, Brett, let me make perfect sense to you. And I had to look him through his soul. I said, my man, I don't want to argue with you. What I'm telling you is the gospel. Because if this is my event, if this is my event that you came to, I'm going to run it how I want to run it.
That's right.
And I'm not going to argue about it. That's right. So I would say what I said again. It's like, yo, everything that I have, every car, every house, every home, every business, I own.
And to argue with a fool proves there are two.
Bruh.
So, yeah, you know, all money is freedom.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So money as a mechanism is freedom, but you get money through wealth. And 96% of black businesses don't have an employee. 96%. We've got this 1 million black business initiative at Operation Hope. So I've directed $4.5 billion of capital through Operation Hope, one of my entities, into underserved neighborhoods. I have millions of clients. We're financial coaching people, getting their credit score up, their debt down, their savings up. And I'll give you some free books for people you want to give people who support your show. I'll sign some books for Financial Literacy for All, my last book, if you like. But I think this financial literacy thing is like everything, and I've directed this capital to try to get people to become homeowners and small business owners, and to show you the hunger of our people. I called for 1 million black businesses after George Floyd's murder, and this is not DE&I. This ain't nothing to do with. This is a great example of what my philosophy is. It's not a DE&I program. It got nothing to do with DE&I. This is about creating more customers for Shopify.
Yeah.
This ain't DEI, it's more customers for Shopify. Shopify put up so we created 450,000 businesses, by the way. Created, nurtured, supported. There's only 3.1 million black businesses, give or take, in the country. So, I don't know, 12% of all black businesses since George Floyd's murder. But I didn't go to Shopify and their founder, who's one of the wealthiest men in Canada, Toby Lukey, good guy. I didn't go to him with charity, a handout, begging, do something right for black people. He said to me after George Floyd's murder, man, this is just wrong. Like, what can I do to help? I also didn't say hook me up or hook my cousin Pookie up, right? I was like, let me think about this for a minute. So I sent him a letter and I said, help me create a million black businesses, Cam.
Right.
And I heard nothing. So after about a week, I wrote him a note and I said, man, look, Toby, thanks for asking, brother. Really appreciate you for caring. I recognize you didn't respond, so you're not interested. I'll see you around. We'll do something else down the road. Talk without being offensive, listen without being defensive, always leave even your adversary with their dignity. Because if you don't, they'll spend the rest of their life working to make you miserable. It becomes personal. He wasn't my adversary. He doesn't give me the response I wanted. How am I gonna respond to that? I decided to respond by being gracious. Don't worry, Toby. I thank you for asking. I'm good. Because I responded that way, he responded and said, John, what are you talking about? I said yes. I said yes a week ago. I went to my spam folder. It was an email in there, 2 lines. We're committing $130 million over 10 years. Imagine if I had cursed him out. Imagine if I went crazy. I knew you didn't care. I knew you. Calm, just like you, calm. The program did so well last December 2024, after the presidential election. Shopify put up another $60 million. So now it's $190 million. So my team asked them like 2 weeks ago, are you good with everything going on in America? They're like, this ain't got nothing to do with DE&I.
Right.
Why are we doing this? Please listen now. We want more customers. Hello? I don't know what their current customer, let's assume it's 3%, that 3% of their customers are black. Well, they wanted 10% that were black.
Yeah.
That's my case to everybody. You want more customers, you want better employees, you want more market share. That's what we should be saying, not you owe me or do this because of black people. Whenever you make an emotional decision, it's the wrong one. Unfortunately, DE&I was designed emotionally. And so it was never going to be sustainable. It was clunky, it's expensive, it's complicated. Somebody else is going to say they have an unfair advantage.
But then, this is the thing to that, not to cut you off.
No, please do cut me off, because I'll run my mouth.
Even to that point of DEI, there were loopholes in it that allowed people who weren't, in quote, minorities, to find loopholes.
Brother, we're 5th on the list.
Come on.
Why were you even arguing about this? To your point, does anybody look at data? I love data. Black people are 5th or 6th on the recipient list of DE&I. White women are first.
Hello.
I mean, you 1, 2, 3, 4. We're 5th or 6th. What are we arguing about? Why are we arguing? Why did we get branded with DE&I? Like, knock it off. Stop it. Just stop it. We're hitting our face on somebody else's fist. I refuse to get punked. Refuse. Look, Dr. King's last book was Where Do We Go From Here? His last movement was about raising all poor people, including poor white people. Does the audience know that there's more poor white people in America than poor anybody else? Like, that's another fact that nobody seems to know. The transfer payments, people say that we're the welfare. The biggest welfare, the biggest subsidy, are to white farmers. Like, let's just start having honest conversations about how this system works. I want my poor white friends who are rioting at the ballot box right now, by the way. They're angry because they were, are we getting too deep?
No, you're not. I like, in the famous words of a good friend of mine, I like where you at right now.
Look, poor whites, this is why I laugh at people who just say it's all about racism. You do know poor whites are white. So if everything was about race, I'm not saying, racism's real.
Yes, sir.
Okay? But if everything was about race, wouldn't all rich people be white and all poor people be black? Clearly the largest population of toe up in this country economically are my white brothers and sisters who had a business plan that walked away from them in 1970s called the Industrial Revolution. With a high school education, sound familiar with what I said earlier? You could get a truck, you get your Ford truck, get your house, have a boat, a vacation with a high school education. Then China and everybody else started doing stuff cheaper. All that got exported, and nobody gave them a business plan.
Right.
And Cam, they're pissed off. They don't know who to be pissed off to, and they were quiet for like 50 years. Mm-hmm. And then somebody came around and became their spokesman for their anger, not their solutions. And now they're angry at us because it's easy to be angry at somebody else. So they went rioted at the ballot box. Black people riot in the streets when we're angry. I get that. But neither one of those rioting will solve anything. That's why I'm saying this country's not black or white. It's not red or blue.
Well, green.
It's green. And the way you solve this, I'm sorry to be simplistic, but create some more green for everybody. Everybody. Because AI is not just gonna kick our ass. It's gonna kick my poor white friend's ass who have a high school education. The #1 group dying in America are high school educated white men dying from opioid addiction. That's depression. That's depression. That's lost hope. It's lost aspiration. Like, we're all in this mess together, but we're spending so much time fighting with each other and throwing rocks at each other that nobody is courageous enough to actually have a solution. And to me, I just see it so clearly, and I'm not interested in speaking Mandarin, Chinese in 20 years. I want, as messed up as this country is, I've been to 100 countries, Cam. You've traveled all around the world. As messed up as this country is, it's the best deal on the planet. I don't want to destroy it, I want to make it better. And I don't know another place where I can go from Compton in South Central to talking to you as the 0.01%. Couldn't have happened in Germany, couldn't have happened in France. Help me out here. Couldn't have happened in China, couldn't have happened in Korea. I mean, go around the world. You, sitting here as free, economically independent black men able to talk and say whatever we like.
For sure.
You talk mess in China, see what happens, you disappear. Talk mess in Russia, you disappear. Talk mess in North Korea, Iran, and 2 dozen other countries, you disappear. And you have no economic opportunity. So capitalism and democracy are horrible systems, except for every other system.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, I want socialism. Even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you have to first collect it like a capitalist. I mean, I could do this all day and all night. This is not complicated.
Yeah.
People just don't know what they're talking about. Oh, I want to go live in the Nordic countries where socialism is. They've got timber, they got oil, I can go on. That's capitalism. They just have a huge tax policy. So yeah, there's no poor people, but you don't see any black people at the top either. So yeah, you don't fall through the cracks, but you don't end up at the top. America, we can reformat this and reframe it. Be the change we want to see in the world. This is a new Reconstruction period. Everything's about to change. Everything is changing.
We're a part of a revolutionary as we speak.
That part.